giveaway eventually given. I was bored the last year. I am with, but what was that one show that you were?
It's like it's optional. You don't have to Saturday. You make sure you wake up.
I don't want to say the expectations.
Like if you're not with me in something, so maybe I'm nowadays to have a career job.
A great turnout, probably maybe our most successful.
Game guy, Campbell autograph.
Just accountability and representation. You got
Mobs and all that stuff, like weird stuff.
That have the experience.
dealing with my kids. You know, my daughter.
The guy who made the coffee that night, dude, Texas. And they were starting to make more money than we were.
It's second, so like, hey, second.
That's when you're not in security.
This album. I'm a guitar player. I'm not saying I'm like.
It was just cool, and you had a big ass. I figured. You know, have.
Alright, guys, thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday evening. I'm joined with my best friend and co-host tonight, Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How you doing, David? How you doing, man?
Good, bro. How was your week, bro?
So far, so good. Got back to the gym with my guys. It looks like we got another fight coming up in November, so we're going to be studying for that and getting ready. This coming week, we're going to pretty much start hitting it hard again, and yeah, get ready for another opportunity for my gentlemen. Hopefully I have like 3 or 4 guys on this card this time, so can't wait. Exciting times.
So it's gonna be in the Valley, South Padre Island, Westico, Mid Valley.
So this past one, the first one that they did was at South Padre Island, and it was at the convention center. And as a lot of us know in the convention scene, the South Padre Island Convention Center is a very hard sell when it comes to what it can do. Well, these guys sold out the convention center there, and it was spectacular. They put on a really, really great performance. But I believe this second one is now going to be in Brownsville. So it's going to be going into another event center there in Brownsville. We're going to hopefully pack out the house, put on a great show, a bunch of MMA fights between here, Mexico, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, all the South Texas area. But speaking of Brownsville, did you hear about the Gladys Porter Zoo?
What's it called? I heard that they needed to expand, bro, but I didn't read too much on it.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is, because there's like a big call out that the zoo might be closing down. They've lost a lot of the animals due to the sizing of the place, and they're looking to hopefully expand in that general area, which is like, I guess they were trying to talk about buying a school that's in that area that had closed down and then expand from there. But I was thinking, you know what, like, why don't they try to push out to more of like the outskirts of San Benito, Brownsville, into like the big ranching areas? They have a lot of like open space out there that you could actually make like a really, really large like zoo style kind of situation that wouldn't be landlocked. What do you think about it?
What's up, Miguel? Thanks for joining us. Bro, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Adam wanted to go to the zoo a while back, and we didn't get to do it before summer. We did the beach with my brother and his birthday and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's very sad, bro, because when I was up north, we went to the zoo like maybe twice a month just because there's nothing to do over there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it was a pretty big zoo, bro, surprisingly. I mean, it's very different, very cultural different, right?
Mhm.
But, the zoo, I can be honest with you, man, I haven't gone to Glass Porter Zoo in years, at least since 5th grade, right?
Yeah.
But to have it taken away, and especially like them taking animals away just because we're not ready for the expansion. I mean, the valley's growing, bro. We can't let that one thing go,
Yeah, it's real crazy. I hadn't been to the zoo. Well, like, I guess from the time right now, present time, I went to the zoo about 5 years ago. I was working with a company in Harlingen called Parker Games, run by a YouTuber named Parker Coppins, who used to be a Disney Kids kind of like show. He used to be a television show actor and stuff like that on it. And he actually has family down here, and he's from down here. And he has a lot of his family that are part of like a church group in Harlingen. And one of them owns or is like an investor or something with the Gladys Porter Zoo. So while we were working on Five Nights at Freddy's project there for like a YouTube kind of like scare PewDiePie with this guy, we were able to actually go into the Gladys Porter Zoo at night. We were able to use a bunch of like Five Nights at Freddy's costumes like in the facility and make it look like we were chasing this guy down. It was super, super crazy. Like, what an opportunity that they would allow us to even do that like on off times. But it was really cool because, like, just like yourself, I hadn't been to the zoo in such a long time. So to be able to go back and kind of walk around and see all the exhibits and see all that stuff, it was nice, man. But I I don't know if it's the same way for anybody else, but like I always feel like it's cool to go to the zoo and check it out, but it's sometimes underwhelming here in the valley on the way that they've kind of handled it. Like there's not, I don't know, there's something about it. Like you would kind of consider with like the template of like SeaWorld to be like a zoo. Like I'm not saying that I want them to beat the shit out of the animals like they do the whales and stuff or nothing, but like in the sense of like having like big areas for exhibits and talking points and doing shows with the animals where they bring them out and they have them kind of trained or whatnot. Like the only exciting thing that I've ever seen at the zoo was maybe they have like a penguin thing. I want to say like a penguin exhibit or some shit. And then there was the other one, which was like they just throw like fucking fruits covered in fucking water that's frozen or whatever. Like, and they just throw them out there and they put them in the shapes of lollipops and the fucking animals go crazy, like licking the ice and fucking doing. And it's like, I understand that they're probably licking the ice because it's fucking hot as balls for those animals out there. You would think that there would just be like internal development to keep the animals comfortable. Because no matter what, I don't know if you remember this, because you said 5th grade, but like the lions always look super fucking like sad as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like just look sad as fuck. And I understand like you're in a jail cell, right? I guess you could say. And this is why my biggest thing was like, well, what if you just fucking take them out to like a big ass open like fucking area, and I don't know, man. Like I feel bad for the animals because they're encaged or whatever. And if you can give them a place where they can fucking go out and roam and do stuff like that, and then even make it to where like maybe there's a small confined area where they do the feedings and that's where people get to see them. But then after you let them go just be fucking animals out in the distance or whatever.
Oh snap! Look at that! It's Miguel's birthday. Happy birthday, Miguel! #1 fan since the
Hey, Miggy, good
OG
happy
days.
birthday, brother, man. Hope you have a good one, man. Straight
Hope
up,
you
straight up,
enjoyed
happy
it.
birthday, buddy.
I feel bad, bro. I did forget your sand from the beach, but I got you a discount at United, Miguel. Stop by the table.
Ooh, sexy time, baby, sexy time. Good looking for Miguel.
Miguel 21 all over again.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday.
Hey, go to the zoo. Nah, fuck it. But now,
But
bro,
yeah,
you're
but
right.
yeah, that's been the biggest thing that I've kind of heard down here in the valley this past week, which was like the zoo situation. And then, of course, there was a situation that happened where someone had passed away, a young man, a kid that was like a high school kid, and that was really, really sad news to hear about. But yeah, man, the zoo thing was something that kind of caught my eye. That I was kind of like, I mean, it's not like we even have much to do in the fucking valley. You know what I mean? The only thing you could just go do is fucking eat. That's what I see everybody do. Everybody just fucking eating all the time. And it's like, bro, stop eating. Go do some fucking workouts or whatever.
Got ideas left and right, bro. So
jeez,
all day.
I'm
What
fucking
up,
telling you,
Johnny?
man.
We got Johnny fucking Populsons. What up, Johnny?
Word up.
My
Word up,
boy
word up.
Johnny out there.
But yeah, what do you think? So in the situation of the zoo, what do you think is the best possible thing that they could do?
You know, I think just that everything. I mean, the valley has progressed a lot, except for the expressway. You like that?
It never progresses.
Yeah, but you know, we've grown as a city, bro. And if we neglect schools and we neglect things like the zoo, you know, it's just going to be harder to catch up. So if they're going to make a decision to keep the zoo in Brownsville for the biggest tax breaks and so forth, they have to invest in it now.
They have to.
To my understanding, that school was like not even being used, so it's just a building, bro. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, why not take the advantage of it now? Invest in the city. See if there's more property. Maybe they could expand both ways into Brownsville and into that San Benito area, like you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, right now, bro, you know, it's a struggle. Expansion even for business. I know we talked about this episode being the cost of business, and we'll elaborate a little bit more later for everyone listening. But for the city to make that decision to invest, and you know, that's what it is, bro. I think I'm not sure if you read the article, bro. Like the McAllen Stadium, that little press box they had.
Yep, the McAllen, right at the McAllen Bulldog Stadium.
Yeah, $4 million project, bro. $3 million for the district and $1 million for the city. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like it costs $4 million? I ain't no architect. I ain't no builder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But could we use that in the valley to maybe do $4 million into the zoo? I mean, imagine all those trips, education, future veterinarians that we have, bro. You know, like, we don't want to take away. You know,
I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I think we've said this before, that the valley always has potential to grow. I mean, the valley, but it's like the situation is like, since we're so far south away from everything, we're always like 10 years behind everything that's cool and important and stuff. And like the cost of living down here is way cheaper. Like, there's a lot of things that the valley has that's good, but there's a lot of things that we're lacking that makes it bad. And like I've said, like a lot of people down here, the basics of economics works very well down here, but the things that are like the proper things of economics that keep commerce growing and all this other stuff, it's not really large down here. We don't have a lot of like factories or like Amazons or big companies down here that are bringing their companies. I think a couple years ago we saw that like the city of Brownsville was saying about like, oh, Disney, or something like that. If you want to make a Disneyland down here, we got a lot of land for you and all this other shit. You remember that when like the SpaceX thing was popping off and all this stuff? Like SpaceX coming down was very, very good. Was very, very good for the economic area of Brownsville. You've been seeing it grow in so many different ways. So like that's what's kind of exciting about this fight that's coming up. We're gonna really be able to like because they'll probably run us a hotel room in Brownsville, so we'll be able to kind of like, I've really never really hung out in Brownsville enough because the David Koresh, or not Koresh, but what is it, the dude that died a long time ago, the fucking Mark Kilroy incident.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's like always scary of a situation, but the valley just needs something. I heard they're making a Disneyland in Texas, I think. Yeah, it would be cool, but I really don't think it's going to happen. A lot of people don't, they kind of let it slide that the valley used to have a water park, dude. And that water park, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Super
Bronco
Splash.
956, bro.
Bronco 956 Super Splash. The addition of the stadium that will be open bowl games. Yep. See that we were just talking about that in my martial arts class the other day, and I was like, yo, I can't wait. Because I live in Edinburgh. I can't wait for Edinburgh to pop off because we're making that football stadium down here.
Oh, yeah,
So like the college, huh?
Yeah. The UTRGV?
Yeah, because dude, that area is gonna turn into like a big like walking commerce area. Like you're gonna be able to walk around the Edinburgh area and go to all the different shops and all the different fooderies and all that. It's gonna grow super fast, super fast once that football stadium pops off, the practice stadium, and then of course like they're using the Toros stadium, the soccer one, the one that's over there next to the HEB park or whatever that's in Edinburgh or whatever. So yeah, I'm really excited for the growth on sports because once they have their first football game down here, it's gonna be fucking crazy, dude.
Lit, bro. Lit,
it's gonna be fucking crazy. Like I'm super excited. All that area where it is gonna be like super popular. Like right now there's a lot of like comidas and a lot of like what are they like little like shops that have like the fucking, what are they, micheladas and all these fucking little paleteras and stuff like that. There's a lot of them over there, but that shit's gonna be, you're gonna have Applebee's and Chili's and fucking all that shit's gonna pop off in that area so fast. Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
For sure, bro. So when we were talking to Brian, bro, I don't know if you saw the whole podcast, but I asked Brian, like, hey, what was your biggest takeaway, like, while you were in the valley? He like, man, there's so much fucking food there.
Yeah, that's literally our only thing, and that's what's kind of sad, man. Yeah. Like, the valley lacks, and I've always said this in a different term, right? Oh yeah, straight up it is. Yeah, it's like right across the street. I love that Dairy Queen. Yeah. Straight up.
They dump a lot of money in there. Told me like $20 there, Johnny. I could use $20.
Yeah, baby. The valley lacks environmental places. It lacks trails. It lacks lakes. It lacks mountains, hills for hiking. It lacks a lot of stuff like that. And the only thing you can do is kind of create like artificial things. Like you can do the main events, the Dave and Buster's, but those get boring. They get super boring. And then the other thing is like, okay, cool. Like, well, let's get a mall. We used to have 2 malls. Now we only have 1 because the other mall couldn't last. And now there's like a outdoor, like a outlet style like shopping area that's in the old mall where the Essential Mall used to be. I mean, it's still technically there. Like the core of the building is still there, but now it's just been changed into all these like outlet style stores, the Rosses and TJ Maxx's, a Main Event, some fucking Asian markets, an Asian restaurant. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Harlingen Mall is completely dead.
Gone. Yeah.
Completely dead, and that's what sucks, man. But you know what? Like I've always kind of considered like the Harlingen Mall. Apparently, they're still keeping it open. Like someone still has the money to keep it going. I think if they were to change their motto and make it to where the rent was a little bit cheaper and bring in more people to come in, I think that they would be all right. They're not going to get like the fucking, Macy's and fucking Finish Line, and they're not going to get all the major stores, the DKY shoe stores, and they're not going to get that. There's no one that's going to go in there. We've already talked about it a million times. If the mall can't make it in Harlingen, there's no way someone's making a place that's going to be like, hey, Harlingen is a place to be. Y'all should come through and hang out here. Like Harlingen needs a zoo. That's what Harlingen needs, is the goddamn zoo. So it's like the valley just needs something. And to hear that we're losing the zoo is a sad thing. So I hope that in the next couple of months they figure it out and they fix it, because Brownsville, I mean, fuck, what else is in Brownsville? Mm-hmm. Like SpaceX, yeah, of course, but you're just gonna go and see rockets, and then you're gonna be told you can't go in.
That's
like,
it.
I mean, so that's
stand
it.
Stand by the gate, and that's it.
Yeah, stand by the gate, take pictures, do whatever you do, and that's it. Like, but like, yeah, man, if they lose the zoo, that would suck, man. That would really suck.
100%. So Johnny's saying that realistically, RGVPs really don't do too much outdoor activities because of the heat, bro. I believe that, bro. I think we might have a good amount of trails. It's just not as exposed as many other things, right?
Yep.
We've got like food reviewers, but we don't have like outdoor activity reviewers. You know what I mean?
True that. Yeah.
People want to be like, look at the tacos here. I'm getting free food here, but no
How
one's
do you feel
gonna
about
say,
that,
hey,
man?
huh?
How do you feel about that stuff? I don't really like food reviewing too much.
Because
it's a personal opinion, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like if your opinion can be bought, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%. If you come in and the guy's like, yo, oh, you're a food reviewer, here's a bunch of free food, you're going to be like, oh, man, this food was fantastic. It was better than the last place I went to. Wow, so cool. Yeah, I don't really care for food reviewing too much. It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, if you, Chris, told me like, hey, man, like this place has really good Chinese, I'm going to believe you because I know that you...
Because you know me on a personal level.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If I have a dude telling me that this Chinese is good, this Chinese is good, I'm like, look, bro, like you got to rank these. And I don't know, bro, like to talk about that, like maybe one of the better ones I like is that Dave Putney, the fucking Barstool guy, the pizza guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's funny.
But, like statistically though, like he's like, also biased, but because he only likes, thin crust, not thick crust pizza and shit.
Yeah, but in the same time, like when he goes into a shop, like he's just gonna buy his shit, because then he'll review it outside on his own fruition. Like he won't try to be like there's this guy that I watch, but he's like a big YouTuber. He's from like the UK, and he always eats like food challenges. You know what I mean? Like, so every time I watch, you know what I'm talking about? The fucking bearded guy. I forgot Beard Eats or something.
With the long hair.
I love that dude's videos, bro. Like, I love
videos, bro.
Yeah, he's super good at his shit. He's tiny. Just like he eats a fuckload of food. But you know what? Like, I believe his shit 100% because he goes in and actually buys this shit. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a food challenge, but like the restaurant was hosting that food challenge, invited this dude for the food challenge, I'm gonna be like, But I don't know, man. I'm not a big. I guess I'm not like a big foodie guy. You know what I mean? Like I like food, but I'm not real like, oh my god, you can really taste the flaking of the butter. Fuck out of here, dude. Like, just fuck out of here. The shearing on this steak is shut the fuck up, bro. Like, you learn how to cook in your backyard. You didn't even go to culinary school. Don't give me that fucking bullshit, bro.
Fucking microwave. But yeah, Johnny's saying that statistically, it's the worst place to start a retail business is in Harlingen. I mean, I would believe that, bro. Yeah. It's always been a travel city, bro.
100%.
You know what I mean? Travel city all day.
Yeah. That one, and like, that'd be the same thing like trying to start a business like in La Feria. Like, no one even knows La Feria. You know what I mean?
They know that's where you get speeding tickets, bro.
That's it. Yeah, that's it, dude. That's funny.
Hard facts, bro. Well, again, Christian, I'm glad you joined me, bro. And I know we're just kind of breaking the ice here. And the one thing I wanted to talk about for everybody that's still listening here is the cost of business, bro. So I know this was an interesting topic because I texted you. I texted you a thing like right before I left work, bro. Like 2 hours before I was at work,
Mhm.
and I was like, "What would be something cool?" Like we're always dogging on the same shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so I was like, you know, it'd be fucking cool. What's up, Alex? Thanks for joining us, Alex. Roy, we went out to scope out places for Kaboom and Harlingen, and the rent was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro, I would imagine. What, like,
100%.
how crazy, Roy? Just out of curiosity, you don't got to give numbers, bro. But if you want to give like estimates, that'd be kind of cool. Just in a general sense, because
That's
I could just
crazy, dude.
imagine, bro. But the cost of business, bro. I know you're in the entertainment industry now. I know you just started your. I don't want to call it PMS. It was what Pixel down.
7,000 for the old Comics Unlimited. Jesus.
Damn, bro, 7K.
Oh, geez. Mike Miguel asks, question for Chris. What's your opinion on the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight? I think it's not a good idea for Mike Tyson. I haven't thought it was a good idea. I have nothing against him, but like being that he's 60 years old, fighting a dude that's like mid 20s, maybe early 30s, like it's just not good, like health wise for Mike Tyson. I mean, the guy's already kind of he's already got his flowers for what he's done in his past. He doesn't have a reason to go out there and try to prove anything to someone who's never done anything with his career. So, like, what Jake Paul needs to do is, I know he talked about being in the Olympics and all this other stuff. If he's in the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken, you have to stay amateur, so you cannot go pro. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's like there's only amateur fighters. Like they don't ever go pro. They don't get paid or anything like that. So I don't know how it's going to work for Jake Paul going out there. He should have done that earlier in his careers, but he decided not to. But yeah, baby. Yeah, so I've never been excited for it, like the Jake Paul fight. I was kind of excited for the Jake Paul and Mike Perry fight, but bare knuckle is way different from regular boxing.
100%.
So like it's just like the amount of, I've told people before, the amount of injury you get in boxing or in a bare knuckle kind of, it dilutes the idea of needing a lot of technique, like counter technique and work. So you need to be like quick minded. You need to keep yourself injury free is probably one of the top things. And yeah, you need to throw at vital areas, as much as you can. Yeah, Perry got destroyed. He was going in there like, it was weird. He wasn't even throwing much, but then I think he was just going in there for the paycheck. Like he doesn't care about getting punched or kicked. He cares about making money. And then like right after that, I think you saw that Conor McGregor was like, "Oh, well, go fucking enjoy your money or whatever. You're fired or whatever." Well, Conor is in partnerships. He'd have to talk to the owners also, and then come together to fire anybody. But like right after that, Perry went off and he used that money to start his own fighting organization.
Yeah. So
he started his own promotion. So I think that's what his plan was in the first place, that he was going to get that money. He knew he wasn't going to do any bare knuckle fights anytime soon. So that large sum of cash would have been an easy way for him to make that extra, 100,000, maybe close to $1 million, like kind of like a lot of money real quick. So yeah, smart move. But yeah, the Mike Tyson, I don't think it's a good fight. I don't think it's a good call. I don't think it's a good match. It's going to be like, if you go back and watch Roy Jones Jr. fight, there was a lot of times that Roy Jones Jr. just wasn't throwing punches and just moving around, flicking punches at Mike Tyson, like not even fighting him, but just like, I guess, doing it to kind of like, hey man, like we're just going to help this guy out for a bit because he wants to kind of relive the glory days or whatever.
Right. Kind of like one of those half throwaway fights. I mean, bare knuckle is completely different, but I remember when you win, I started paying attention a little bit more to bare knuckle. And I'm like, bro, this is not the same. Anybody who says it's the same is
it's violent as fuck, man. It's so violent.
It's uneducated, bro. It takes a lot of technique, bro. I mean, just from what I can see.
Yep.
So,
true that.
I don't do that much stuff for a living, bro. So I'm not a fighter, bro. I'm a lover.
I'm a lover,
bro. But so with your media company, bro, everybody has different, businesses, bro. We have some people in the comments of here, that are starting, and I'll give an example. Johnny has Funko Pop and channels. He's got Funkos too, exclusives and so forth. We got a lot of different stuff on here, bro. So, what do you think the idea, bro? How does one decide they want to do some type of business, bro? Whether it's going to be entertainment for boxing or it's going to be starting a business. I mean, there's still steps that are common, bro. So, what was some of the things that you came across, or what?
Well, so right now, I've always kind of run my martial arts business, which is something I've been doing for like up some 20 years. then recently we started doing, I've talked about it before on the podcast, Pixel Media Productions. Alex put in the comment section. It's our small little in-house studio that we've created for media and production. And that one's going really well right now. We're taking a little bit of time off so that we can get some builders in there, because we do want to renovate the building, kind of make it a little bit more beautified. I don't know how to, I don't know any other word to put it. Like, you know, we want to make it something that people want to go in there and they have an honor of being in there. Like, it's something that's not like just a hangout spot. It's something that they go in and they understand that it's like a place of production. It's a place that people understand that it's a place of business, and people want to be in there because they want to be creative and do good things. So that's what we're kind of like pushing on right now, just the look of it. But we still do a bunch of production in it. We've been doing a lot of photography, which is, I think, kind of like the bloodline of it, right? This is a photography part before we start getting into the filming and the media. But going back to the question that you said, what is it that kind of pushes up in the direction? I guess to me, it was the factor that we didn't have, or I didn't feel there was an outreach for it. Like me and a friend of mine kind of had been talking about doing films together. Same thing with Alex. He's part of this too. Like we all kind of like have this mentality that's like, we're all doing it from our houses. You know, we all kind of bring all our stuff together, and then we leave, or someone picks us up, or we meet each other somewhere, and then we go out into locations and then we shoot. Like, we never really had a place to go and do inner house work, somewhere where we can like brainstorm. And that's what I think that kind of brought it all together. You know, the other thing too is an instructor, my old instructor, Julio McCall, once told me, if you're good at something, learn to make money from it, because then you'll never really have to work. And that was the thing about my martial arts school, is I was good at martial arts and I was good at understanding it, and I just needed to get good at teaching it. And then I became a good instructor, and you know, now I just teach, and that's what I've been doing for a long time. The idea is, you have to find a way to create finance from the skills that you're good with, because those are skills that other people who suck at those skills cannot just steal from you. So that's kind of what it was, man. Like, a lot of these, like, you know, I could have done other stuff. I could work at call centers, or fucking, you know, do Ubers or whatever it is that people like to do nowadays. But I wanted to do something on my own terms, and I don't mind that. And a lot of people, when it comes to running a business, when they get that first $100 that you have to spend, and you don't know if you're going to get it back, you don't know there's a return, you don't know if you're ever going to get it, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of cheeseburgers, or, oh fuck, that's like a lot of drinks, or, oh, that's me taking, you know, my significant other out on a badass date, and you don't know if you're going to get that back. Like, a lot of people break at that point. They're just like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Nah, I'm not going to start a business. I'm not going to do that. I think it just takes a special kind of person. Usually gamblers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the one that gamble on themselves. What about AI, bro? Because in your industry, right, artificial intelligence is playing a big. I mean, it plays a big key in everything, right? I mean, this is realistic, right? But I think you see more people leaning towards AI when it comes to media, just because, you know, why hire a media person, bro? And my thing is you know, and I'm not here to put anybody on blast, you know, but I came across this thing on my Facebook where somebody wanted to produce content, and they're basically asking for an editor, a film person, stuff like that. But like, you know, you just can't have a team from zero, bro. Like, people don't want to work for free. You know, the economy is where it's at today for a reason. Like, you have to take that gamble. Like, how do you want to have people there doing it when you can do things on your own? Do you think it's important to lean on AI if you're a solo person, or do you think AI just makes it easier for that person to get their own vision?
So I had a conversation about some AI stuff the other day with one of my students, and he was telling me like, oh, I don't like AI because I care about artists. And I was like, well, as an artist, when I'm doing work that takes a time consuming situation, and I know it's easy work, like, I'll check to see if there's some way AI can kind of just do it for me. You know what I mean? And the reason why is because I could do that and it's going to take me 6 hours, or I can use AI that it's only going to take 20, 30 minutes. And it's not the factor that I'm using AI to steal stuff. It's I'm using AI for the way that it was supposed to be used, as a tool to help humankind be better at things and more sufficient. I understand, and I'll say it. There's fuckboys out there that like to use AI and then claim it's theirs, or use just AI and they've never really done the work or the footwork to really understand it. And they use it and they're like, "Oh, dude, look at me. I'm a content creator or whatever the fuck." Pues ni modo, dude. That's the way life works. If they make it work, they make it work. But sooner or later, they're going to be put in a situation that they're going to need the skill. They're going to need to have the skill. And if they don't have it, they're going to have to produce it in some way. And then they're going to get called out. You know, look at most of these fucking TV shows that are getting called out for using AI. DC had a bunch of artists fired because they were using AI. Like, you know, it's it's one of those things. If you're using it as a tool to help your work, it's good. If you're using it as a way to make money because you suck, then that's bad. And, you know, I'll claim it. They suck because they're just ruining a great thing. You know what I mean? I use AI every now and then when I really need to get work done and I need to be sufficient. If you're in a group, I would prefer not to use AI at the beginning, only when the individuals have to go off and do their own works that they needed to help. But if it's a solo person, I think if it's one of those things, like let's say you're making a film and you need to do certain effects and you can get away with using AI instead of, you know, taking a mass amount of time on your own and you can be putting it into other stuff. Like I would say, just go with that. You know what I mean? But it's just a really difficult subject because there is no litigation on when and where you should use AI. The only time it becomes litigation is when you're a cunt and you steal stuff, or you're a thief and you're stealing people's money, or you bamboozle someone because you're a con artist. Those are the only like real reasons why AI becomes a problem. Other than that, if you're just a normal person living an everyday life, doing normal things, and you're just using it as the way it should be, like it would be way easier of an example of if I dug out, like, no, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so fucking weird. Like, it's just so weird. Like, it's because there's no litigation to it. Like, it was put out in human aspect because the companies wanted to see how the humankind was going to make AI work better. Because that's the thing. It needs to be pushed into, you know, give me a water bottle with human hands or whatever the fuck some weird people would put into their AI things to make it work. So, you know, AI still has a long way to go, but you've seen like dude, some of the stuff that AI comes out with nowadays is amazing, but you yourself have to be good at putting in your inputs and stuff. So, but like AI has done very well when it comes to like Adobe with like the removal tools and taking things. That's so much easier for like everyone now. And I understand like when you don't know how to do that skill wise, like you're like, wow, what a fucking lifesaver. This is so easy. But for the artists that do, it's just a fucking blessing, dude. It's just a fucking blessing.
So here's the second part, bro. And I'm just gonna ask you this question because I didn't want to tell you any questions before we got on. But like, all right, so you got AI, bro, and I know you and your team are working on a project. To sum it up, and I don't want to get out too much information. It's a long-term short film you guys want to do, right?
Yes.
So would it be wrong to do like a comparison, bro? If you do an AI script, an AI imagery board, an AI story versus trying to be more organic, like at what point do you draw the line? Because obviously we incorporate it. You know, you and me both know it's a tool, right?
Yes.
But for some people, they make it their superstar. You know, their A1. Yeah. That's what makes them original. So do you feel like, you know, do you really need as many people as a team, or should you just have AI then just edit it slowly? Because you have to train AI. You can't just say like, you know, give me a script for a horror movie with 2 teams.
Yeah, and it's gonna give you a bunch of random shit.
Yeah, like you have to build the AI. A lot of people don't understand that, especially like when you sign up with your username and your address and stuff. Like you have to build AI. So what do you think, bro? Like, should you just like use AI as a blueprint? Use it to maybe do your scripts, and then you get the free will of editing. Because again, and it also incorporates to business. Like with my business, I can do posts, and the AI will generate me like, you know, instead of saying Batman, they're like, you know, stop by Gotham for these dark prices, or you know, some kind of bullshit like that, right? You can even do like AI memes if you wanted to. It's on fucking TikTok, bro. You hit AI memes, and they'll give you a meme for your picture. Like it's just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So how do you incorporate that with your world? Like, how do you combat that? Like, do you want to see more production like that, less production? Do you want to use it as a guide? Like, what do you think?
I still think we're at the beginning steps of AI in using it for production qualities. I think what's very good for AI is you can, let's say you type in your idea and you ask for 10 different renditions of it. Like AI is going to give you 10 different options based on what it thinks human beings want to see or what we feed it or whatever. And if all of those 10 come up short, you at least get inspiration. Like that's where I feel like AI does very well right now is it can still inspire people to go off of like their original idea. Cause that's what kind of hurts me when it comes to like the artist block, right? Or writer's block or whatever is like, I go in and I write something and then I'm like, fuck, what do I want to say? Like, what do I want to say? Like, what's the next thing I want it to do? And if I go to AI and I write in a summary of what I want that's in my head and then be like, can you give me like 10 different ideas, like on what you think and different emotional aspects? Boom, it'll pop out 10 of them. And I'll be like, wow, those 10 are stupid. But I do like the way 4 is, and I do like the way 6 and 7 did this. Like maybe I can work with that. And then boom, you get some type of idea, you get some type of movement again. I think that's what works very, very well. And especially it gives you a real high class image of something when you're working amongst others and want to share a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to share, like let's say you and I want to share a vision and I want to say like, oh man, this is super hard, but in my head, I want to see like All Might from My Hero Academia in a spaceship, like fist fighting a xenomorph while he's pushing back Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Like for me to draw that, it's going to come out like stick figures. It's going to take me 28 hours to draw.
Yeah.
But if I put that in fucking AI, it's going to give me some weird rendition. It's going to give me some like, you know, like maybe it kind of looks like All Might, maybe the xenomorph looks right. Like, but it's going to give you an idea and be like, hey, like I can go from there easier. And that'll give you like what, 30 seconds when it comes to AI. Like you just put in the prompt and it gives it to you.
Yeah.
Like, and then from you got, you know, compared to the 28 hours it took you to draw the damn thing, you know what I mean? And not only that, it's harder to do it with words. If you write it out, if I would have written that out, like you would have been like, but I don't get it. Like, what are you trying to tell me? So like, yeah, that's where I kind of feel like AI is organically like right now. It's a good tool for the production, but I don't think it's like a do all end all. Like you said, it's not a, what is it? Like the main attraction of your production.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be that way.
I get you. So do you think it's going to like drastically affect your market? Especially being with the media production and everything, do you think
100%? 100%. Yeah, 100%.
You're like, yes.
Yeah, dude, it already is right now. It already is right now. That's why we had the writers what is the writers strike that we had a couple years ago? So we had that because companies, I mean, you saw you can literally, if you want, go back to Secret Invasion, the opening trailer, and that's all AI. That's all AI created. It wasn't even created by like an artist. It was just prompted into the AI and they just probably used images and was like, can you make some fucking weird spinny shit? Like that's 100% AI.
Cloak and dagger looking fucking shit.
Dude, it was bad, man. That shit was like right on the button, like right on the cusp of like that movement of people wanting to use AI for those kind of like situations and to take people's jobs. 100% AI is, and then again, not only that, it's like, you have the Adobes and you have the Canvas and you have the Capcas and you have all that stuff. And all of those things have this thing where it's like, oh, well, I can already create what production creators do for you. Like, oh, this phone app will do all the Zoom shit. Just take your pictures from a certain angle and you can literally do like ramping, speed ramping and stuff like that. So I don't know if you ever see like those like car videos where they're like whoop, whoop, whoop. Like there's like a speed, like pop to every like angle. Like there's apps that'll do that for you now. And you don't have to do it yourself in Premiere or DaVinci. And that's crazy, dude. That's super fucking crazy.
I get you. So obviously, and again, I'm not saying I'm against AI. I'm probably more forward than your average business owner, bro. But what's the reward from it, bro? Like the reward from, you know, what your company is going to be doing, like what's the biggest like takeaway that people can expect and stuff once you guys, you know, get your construction going and you're full blown into it?
I think just being able to like produce in the Valley and make films and stuff like that. We do have like some like people that are already out there in the production world that are out there already kind of like with momentum. So like to be able to grow that, give people a place. You know, sooner or later, it'd be cool to have like, I don't know if you saw that 50 Cent in Cheverport, Louisiana, is building like an actual movie set studio, several blocks big factories, sets, and all that stuff. Like, you know, it'd be cool if us in the valley were to get some type of like production, like an actual set production, like movie production. And that's kind of like, you know, what our goal is we want to keep building and make films and eventually make full like, you know, full length feature films that have, you know, top quality AI, CG, you know, everything, the nicks and crannies, man. To be able to do something in the sense of like Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, or like The Mandalorian, which is literally a giant 150-foot giant big screen television that's wrapped in like a globe, and to be able to put that in like a, you know, a fucking old watermelon factory or something down here in the valley that's not being used anymore, and then you're over here making films in a thing that used to, you know, like just feed our communities. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like I just always felt like the valley, all the way from here to San Antonio, you have everything that it takes to make full-length feature films, like every kind of look. Big city, ranch, old school, ancient, whatever you want, like it's all here. It's all here. So yeah, that's kind of our goal, man, is to be able to go out there and offer really great quality film to the valley, or from the valley at least. So
I get you. Now, here's the biggest thing, bro. There's no way we were going to do this podcast without having some nerd talk. You know what I mean? Because, you know, with the cost of doing business, bro, like it just takes ideas, resources. You know, I'm hoping that's what, you know, the viewers take away from the short conversation that we're having. Because, again, we can't just give away all the secrets, bro. You can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you have to.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a fucking great point. I've kind of come to this like ideal that like there's a lot of people that gatekeep, man. You know, do you know the concept of gatekeeping? Yeah.
You know, let's educate me, bro. Tell me.
So gatekeeping is like when there is a prominent skill that's available or that people have, and they don't tell others freely how to do it. Mm-hmm. So that would be like, let's say I know how to work DaVinci very well, and I know how to add CG to it, and I know how to do that stuff. And let's say some brando comes in and goes, "Hey, dude, you know what? Like, it's not cool. You've never showed us how to do that." Mm-hmm. Like the idea of gatekeeping. How do you think? Because like for me, like I think gatekeeping is a necessity. There's a necessity to it. There should be people out there that are trying to save secrets, because a lot of motherfucking people are lazy as fuck. Mm-hmm. And everybody just wants shit easy. Everyone wants a lot of easy shit. And, you know, for me, like I've done okay with DaVinci when it comes to my editing and stuff like that. I think I've gotten pretty well at it, and I've been able to create a pretty solid skill with it. But man, I get motherfuckers like all the time that are like, "Oh man, how did you do that, bro? Can you show me?" And it's like, "Nah, bitch, I spent hours on my own." Years. Yeah. Well, hours in the sense of like when it comes to just set skills that they're asking me for. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If I want to do that skill, I'm going to research it. I'm going to research it on my own. I'm going to read documents. I'm going to see trainings. I'm going to see YouTubers do it. I'm going to see how everyone else does it. And then I'm going to come up on my own. I'm going to test it. And then I'm going to go in there and start doing it on my own. And if I make it good enough, then people will be like, "Oh, bro, how'd you do that? That's not fair. You should show me." And see if you can show me in 30 minutes to 20 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do all that hours stuff. That's kind of like the way it's always been. So like gatekeeping is kind of important, man. How do you feel about that?
You have to gatekeep, bro, because like for me, if I have competition, and obviously I do, right? You know, no offense to Johnny. Johnny's a cool dude. You know, at the end of the day, Johnny's my competition, but I like Johnny because it's healthy competition for me, you know? Like I really enjoy it, but I want to make sure that whoever I'm competing against, bro, that I beat them at their absolute best. You know what I mean? I don't want to beat somebody who is not trying their absolute hardest. Like,
oh, Ashley, what's up, Ashley? Exactly. Once it's handed to them, while others do so much research and time is put into it. Yeah, and it happens a fuckload. Retro Pop. A question for David: what's your opinion on Funko Pop? Do you think there's a Funko Pops? Do you think there is a decline?
So, I mean, I'll just say the truth. I mean, we don't have too many viewers on right now, bro. But different platforms like Whatnot. And I'm gonna give an example, bro, because I have data behind it. Like I can pull this shit up if
Mhm.
I need to. But like Fred worked with Parker, and a lot of pops declined in value because they were auctioning pops at losses. So like you have $40 pops that now when you look them up, the recent sales are $10, $5 because they were just pumping, dumping the market, bro. Like it's funny how some companies can just drive profit down. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the funny part is you see like the impact a brand has, and they just either act blindly to it or they don't own up to it. But then they want to jump into different categories, whether it's going to be collecting cards, auctioning autographs, or whatever it is. But you'll never really get a good concept model to it, bro. So when it comes to the gatekeeping, like we talked about, and information you got to keep to yourself, like you have to understand why that market is dipping. Because at the end of the day, I have an $800 green arrow, bro. It's 249 pieces. Right now, it's showing $400. You can't walk into Barnes and Nobles and buy it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The only time you're gonna buy this pop or this mold is gonna be traveling back in 2001. You know, so regardless of what eBay might say or so forth, it's not a $400 pop, or it is at least $1,000 pop. You know what I mean? But you have to be really educated in whatever market it is, comic books, figures, or whatever it is, right? But I mean, also be educated enough on re-releases and stuff. You know what I mean? What's up, my
Mhm.
nigga? But that's it, Miguel. That's Miguel, the retro poppy bro.
And that's good.
So
That's good to know too. I mean, you and I've had that conversation for a long time ago where we were talking. I told you I used to collect when I was younger, and then I stopped. And then recently, how the idea of what is rarity in collection compared to where it is artificial collecting, which is where a company can say, "Oh, we're gonna make this thing and we're only making 10 of them, so this automatically makes it a collector's item, it makes it rare, and it makes it $10,000." And it's
yeah,
like, well, wait a minute, you actually have the capabilities of printing thousands,
yep,
thousands if not millions, and just having it to where people can get them. You're artificially making it rare because you're being a cunt,
yeah,
and you're
100%,
making
bro.
it to where, yeah, it's like I would tell the person that did that, well, go fuck yourself, keep your 100 fucking things, I'm not gonna buy shit.
Yeah,
Like the thing is like things become rare and collectibles when nature naturally destroys them in a way, and it makes them hard to find.
yeah,
Yeah, if you make it artificially hard to find, I think you're a piece of shit.
yeah.
Like, so if
Okay.
Funko Pop's out there making like 100 Iron Man or the Captain America pop that's up here, if they
Yeah,
only make 100 of those and they're like, oh, special edition, bitch, if you don't get it, you're not gonna get it ever. And it's like, well, fuck you then, dude. I don't need it then. Fuck your pop. You know what
fuck
I mean?
that. I need it, bro. I need it. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
need it. Oh, I need it.
I
But that's
need
the
it.
thing. The consumer mentality has been warped and disgusted and violated into thinking that a lot of these things are a necessity to have because of value, intrinsic social value online, which is kind of shitty, which is like you buy something and the only way it becomes valuable is if you get to post about it and say you have it, and then you get likes.
Yeah,
It's very
hard,
weird.
bro.
It's a very
Yeah,
weird fucking life we live.
it's very hard, bro. But I have to channel back to gatekeeping, bro, because I have to beat people at the top of their game, bro.
You have
100%.
to. Yeah, because it
Like
shows that your skills are legit. It legitimizes your skills.
I can't beat somebody, bro, knowing that they just tapped out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I will literally want to invest in them to build them back up just to see them fail again, bro.
Mhm.
Like it sounds so stupid, but that's just but I
No,
mean
I
not
mean
me.
that's anybody. That's anybody that's honorable in the sense of like that
Yeah.
understands their skills are worthy of it. They want to challenge people at their very best. You don't want to go into a fight, know that the guy is like only 30% good or not at their 100%, because then that's the easiest thing that they'll blame as an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you beat me, but it's because I have diarrhea, or like there's all this
All
stupid
this
like,
bullshit.
yeah, this goes on the factor of the accountability aspect. It's so universal, and I always tell you about the accountability thing. Even when people lose or they mess up and they have to apologize or they make a mistake, a lot of people will say, I'm sorry. And they're a piece of shit because they're going to add but to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but I know I fucked up, but I know I did this, but, and it's like, they're going to come up with excuses. They won't just say, you're right, I fucked up, I apologize. That's super important. Super fucking important. Look at the Acolyte. Look at the Acolyte.
Bro. The Acolyte's a prime example, bro.
Yeah, dude, look at the Acolyte. And it's nothing against the show. It's nothing against Star Wars. I love the fuck out of Star Wars.
Bro, facts,
but
bro.
these people came in and they thought they knew better. They thought they knew better. And like I don't know any fucking television show in the fucking history of television. And if I'm wrong, put it up. You know what I mean? When have you ever heard a show say, "Oh, well, season 1 goes this way, but it was supposed to get better in season 2"?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck makes a show like that knowing they're not gonna get a season 2 or not? Yeah. Oh, I fucked the first one up, but it's because season 2 was supposed to be way better. That's a stupid fucking like even thing to say. I don't know. That Alkali show, man, is so fucking dumb. I mean, you have a title for it.
Yeah, I had
like I had this one in the fucking chamber, dude.
I had to capitalize the A, bro, for sure.
But, oh, that's funny, dude.
The Acolyte, bro. You know, I really was entertained, like towards the end when Soul was fighting the guy and shit.
Yeah. The fight scenes were good.
It was fucking great, bro. The force repulsion and shit like that. It was cool.
That dude they had, the stranger or whatever, he was cool too, man.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know he was in Top Gun. I didn't know that for shit.
Yeah. He was, and there's an interview about him where he feels like he was kind of undermined because of his race.
Yeah.
So like, I guess. Fucking favorite show. All the debauchery and all the fucking failing, it makes it so good. It's like all the drama that happened outside of the actual television show is like the greatest thing. I was telling the guys online the other day, I was like, dude, I hope that chick, Amanda, whatever, makes a dance, like telling off like the fucking Bob Iger or whatever. Like, I hope she does. And she's like, fuck you, Bob Iger. Fuck you, Bob Iger. It's like, I hope she does, dude. Because I don't know why she made that video to fuck the fans off. You know what I mean?
No shit, bro.
That's crazy, dude.
I mean, me and my brother were talking about it because they're like, the Acolyte was really good. I said, it was good, but there was like a couple episodes that could not have been episodes, bro. It got dragged out a little too long. You needed a season 2 to really complete the story, bro. Like, you really did. That's not
the way these work.
I get that.
That's not the way this works.
Why you
and I'll admit it too. I think we did a show with Michael Betancourt a couple of weeks ago, and we had said the same thing. Like, man, dude, I mean, this show deserves a season 2 just to explain things. But that's not the way shit works. You know, there's 2 things that television shows nowadays lack that people overlook a lot. One is, like I told the guys in our we have like a back chat or whatever, like a hidden chat that we all talk to each other with Biggie too. Captivation, dude. Like, there's no more captivation. Look at how stupid we all felt when the what is it? The Bones Crew, or what's that shit that they were talking about?
Skeleton Crew or
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Look at how captivated we were just on a couple of shots in the trailer.
Yeah.
That entire series, The Acolyte, didn't even have that trailer had. It didn't have that throughout the whole series. There was nothing that captivated our imagination and creativity. Yeah. And 2, there's no more wonder. You don't wonder anymore. You don't wonder. You don't look at it and you're not like, huh, this is interesting. You don't do that anymore with these shows. And that's kind of like the thing. A lot of these people come in and be like, this show's good because I wrote it, or because this dude's shirt's off, or because the lightsabers. That doesn't captivate shit, man. Like, I there's a part of me that wishes I can sit in a room full of the people coming up with the ideas of these shows. I would love to just, don't you know what I mean? Like, I would like, you see, even right now, you thinking about it, like, you would be like, fuck, dude. Like, I would love to sit in a room full of these guys just talking about what they think is going to make it work. Like, that captivates me more, dude. That captivates me more.
Imagine, bro, being there for fucking Madam Web. So dude, hear me out, guys. Dude, hear me out. We're in Spider-Man, but no costumes.
I have to wear one of those fucking helmets that they sell that covers your mouth, dude, that they can't hear you. I've been laughing the whole fucking time, dude. They're like, Chris, we're gonna let you sit here, but you can't say anything or laugh out loud. Wait, why'd you say I can't laugh out loud? Do you know that's gonna happen already? Jeez, dude. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Those things captivate me more. The things outside of their shows, they're more intriguing. All the drama that surrounded the show was talked about more than the show itself. Yeah. Like, that sucks. That sucks a lot, man.
But to be fair, bro, like, Disney also had the flip-flop because they had X-Men 97, super, super high, and then Acolyte. You know what I mean?
Alkalite. Yeah,
So the
100%.
so the
100%.
brand was kind of like it was on a hiatus. So they kind of like they fucked up and gave themselves something good, and then fucked it up towards the end.
True that. 100%. But then that was the same thing like Obi-Wan and all those other shows. Like they all kind of like the only thing that was captivating about Obi-Wan is I just wanted to see Darth Vader and him run into each other.
Yeah.
All the other shit about Princess Leia, hiding her under a coat, a bunch of people chasing her down a city. Like, I didn't give a fuck about that. I didn't give a shit about that. I just wanted to see Obi-Wan run into Darth Vader so we can get a lot of that, like, you killed me or I killed him talk.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Hey, bro,
it.
y'all gave me so much shit. I fucking loved Obi-Wan, bro, but I'm biased, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. What did you like? Okay, let me ask. Like, what did you like about Obi-Wan? Like, what was the thing that got you?
I think what sold me was it was more like it was him dealing or having to deal with like his failure, bro. Like, like a lot of people hide from it. I mean, he wasn't necessarily hiding from his failure, he was protecting the future, right?
Yeah, because he had a job. Yeah, he had a job.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But when he got challenged to, have to find the girl, this and that, he came across Vader. He had no choice, bro. Like he was trying to avoid the fight, but he knew he was gonna have to fight him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And obviously, like we know, like in episode 4, that's when they have their final duel and shit. But you didn't know that they had
even with that, if you go back and watch the original episode 4 episode, the what is it? Return of the Jedi, or what is it? New Hope, right? New Hope. Yeah. When Obi-Wan fights Darth Vader and he just kind of like picks his saber up and gives up and cuts him, falls. I remember when I was a kid and I saw that, I was like, the fuck, dude? Like what the fuck? Like, you're supposed to be this dude. Like, why did you give up? Like, I don't get it. And then all of a sudden he's like in Anakin's brain and he's like, I watch you when you pee or whatever the fuck. Like, I was like, oh, okay. He's going to be like the Jiminy Cricket. Like, he's going to be like that point in his head that kind of keeps him going and he'll never lose that connection. And I mean, I never looked at it in the sense of like, that was the same bullshit that they gave to Charles Xavier and the X-Men when they were like, oh, well, when Cyclops destroys Xavier's body, dude, now he's the strongest motherfucker in the plane of existence because his brain. And it's like, bitch, that's not the way the brain works. Like, once you destroy the brain, like, there's no more. Like, there's no more. There's no more, bitch. Like, that's not the way this works. It doesn't make a lot of sense to kids. So, like, yeah, like, I mean, I get that, and that's a really good point. And I was gonna say, like, there was this really cool resolve or vibe that we got to the beginning, because in my idea of Star Wars, Obi-Wan was Darth Vader's antithesis. It wasn't Luke Skywalker. It was Obi-Wan. And if you break it down, I think Obi-Wan was the best Jedi ever. He was the chosen one, 100%. Yep. It wasn't Anakin. I believe that Anakin was the path that he had to take to become the one that brought balance to the Force. I don't think it was Anakin. I really don't. Because Anakin, like, I don't know, unless it's like one of those things that a person can murder 800 people and you're at the gates of heaven and you just like request like some forgiveness and God's like, all right, buddy, come on in. Now that doesn't make sense. So like Obi-Wan.
Bro, imagine the younglings at the door. The fuck?
Yeah, hey, dude, what the fuck? He's here. Run. And they're like, no, it's cool. I'm forgiven, man. Like, fuck, that's funny. That's a good one. But yeah, like that's like, Anakin was always a piece of shit, and then at the end when he like throws the Emperor into the thing, like, yeah, like he came back, and that's not really balanced though. Like, but like, I mean, balance is something because that evil dude's dead. But like, again, the waters are now murky because of all the newer stuff that shows that, yeah, there was the Emperor, but Plagueis was there still, and there was probably some other Sith that were out there. So like, the idea of the rule of 2 is kind of like, it's not even existent. Like, it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of the rule of 2 as long as you're in different area codes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very mucky right now.
It's very like on my block, bro. Like real gangster. You're gonna stay on that side of the planet.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you can be the rule of 2 out there, bro, but not over here. This is our rule of 2. In fact, we're 2.5 because I got a little friend with me. You know what I mean? Like, it's very weird, man. Very weird. A lot of stuff that kind of it convolutes a lot of the easier understanding of what Star Wars was back in like episode 4. Because like, yes, Obi-Wan was good, but then they introduced this character named Reva, who was one of the younglings who survived, who
bro.
wanted to get revenge but killed a bunch of people along the way to get to this point, to get close to Darth Vader, was chasing Obi-Wan because she wanted to prove herself to Darth Vader to get closer, but Darth Vader knew that she was bad and still gave her a chance to do bad, even after he told her, I knew you were going to try to fuck me over, but take another chance and do me over again. And then then she goes back to being a Jedi because she believes in Obi-Wan and all of this, and then she, mind you, the genius that she was, figured out that Princess Leia and Luke were the children of Anakin Skywalker way before anyone else who actually had the fucking information could.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of stupidity in a show.
Yeah, no,
I understand what you're saying. It's all the resolution of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader was very cool. Very cool. I still tell people I like the fight scene or the thing when they're walking and he's in the fire or whatever. He lights that shit on fire and stuff.
Bro, when he fucks him up in the fire, bro, I was like, dude, fuck
yeah, dude, he's smothering him in the fucking flames and shit.
Yeah, he's not gonna die, bro, but he fucking drags his ass in that fire.
That was a lot of cool stuff. It makes you feel how ominous and nightmarish Darth Vader was to the Jedi, where even this person who was his best friend was now looking at him like he was the boogeyman. You know what I mean? The boogeyman. And then of course you had that final resolve fight at the end when Anakin openly admits that there is no more Anakin, I killed him, now I'm only Darth Vader or whatever the fuck. And then Obi-Wan's kind of well, well then you're gone, my friend, or I don't know what he said. He says something well then you're dead or whatever, and I'm sorry. Or all of that stuff was really, really cool. I wasn't a big fan in the Obi-Wan series where he lost his powers for no reason.
Yeah,
I do understand. That was kind of silly, right? I kind of was why would he lose his powers? He was sent there on a purpose and a mission to protect this child. He's not going to be well, let me protect this kid, but at the same time eat a bunch of chocolate donuts and just get fucking fat and turn into a piece of trash in the desert or whatever. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff around that episode made that show kind of weak, but it was still a lot better than the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Still a way lot better than the Acolyte.
I don't know, bro. Sometimes I watch the action just for shits and giggles. So
it's cool. It's cool to disconnect. It's nice. That's like Bullet Train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. See, that right there, that response shows me that you had a great time watching that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it wasn't it wasn't disproportioned. You were able to get enough action, enough comedy, enough acting from all the actors to get a full 2.5 hour experience.
Yeah.
2.5 hour experience.
Yeah,
and someone's telling me they can't do that in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They could have done the same thing. I think Brian and Triggs were in the same boat when they were bro, they could have made an entire episodes all action and I wouldn't give a fuck what they were talking about.
Shit.
In Star Wars, just give me a bunch of swinging fucking lightsabers and a bunch of dudes flipping and doing shit, and I'm sold. And I'm yeah, we all know that format. That's all these people had to do. And then just add some words around it that was oh, Jedi's good. Oh, Sith bad. Bing, 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 bing. Dodge some lightsabers. Bing, 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 bing. And then say the same shit again and do it all over again. I would have been okay with it. Hearing people even Brian and Triggs, I've said before, it takes so much of me to hear these guys say that and then know that someone went out there in Star Wars land and fuck that story up so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to try really hard to fuck something up that good. It's me and Brian used to talk about this all the time, where he didn't like the Russo brothers too much as directors, or at least the hype around them from Infinity War and all the first phase of the Marvel universe. But the thing is that caught my ear is one of the coolest things that Brian ever said about that, and I always thought it was a really cool example, was they have the keys to a Ferrari, dude. They have the keys to a cool car. You can't fuck it up. Yeah. And I was but look at phase 5, 6. Yeah, look at all of those people, even Sam Raimi, a director that's super beloved for what he's done with the Evil Dead series, Army of Darkness, just a lot of the Spider-Man movies from back in the day, just a lot of the stuff he's done, took the wheels for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and did a bad job. Yeah, you see, but that's the thing too. Michael Betancourt, hey, what's up, my man? He says, I'm here, and I'm annoyed that I don't get a freaking Darth Plagueis now. But let me ask you something. This is for both you and David. Knowing the way that they wrote that story, that they were working around for the Alkalite and the way they wrote it and the way they filmed it and they did a bunch of the crazy scenes and weird stuff. Would you really want these people on the helm to write a story for Darth Plagueis?
I mean, you're not wrong, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, they teased something that we were built off of the franchise. You know what I mean?
They use that against you guys. They use
100%.
that against all of us. They use that against us, and they waited for the very last scene,
Yeah,
showing the back of the head or whatever the fuck, or 5 seconds in a shadow. Like they literally used that against us. They used. Okay, let me tell you, they used your heart. That was literally when the moment your girlfriend cheats on you, and she's like, and she brings up something that you and them only did that you love. Like that they know, like it could be like, oh, but remember your grandma liked me or whatever before she passed away. Like that was that thing that those people did in that film. They knew exactly that if they would have put Darth Plagueis and Yoda, that no matter what, however worse it was, we would fall in love with it. We would have to because they're there. Because they use that on us. They use that against us. What a cheap move in a production company to do that. Knowing that they fruitfully went into season 1 and gave us bad stuff. Yeah. I'm not even going to say like it's trash or whatever. It was just not good. It was just not good. Like, and I don't think it's a thing of like people that are, I don't know. I've seen like other things where like bigots have ruined Alkalite. You know, people out there like men have ruined Alkalite. I don't think Bob Iger's out there watching YouTube videos being like, oh, look at what this guy said. Yeah, bunch of dudes. No, they look at the analytics, they look at the numbers, they look at it and say, hey, you know what? This is not in our best interest. Like this is not, and it was bad enough that they took stuff off of the merchandise of Disney. Like it was that bad. The only other time that they did that was the new Willow show. And Michael Betancourt, and I don't know, David, if you, I loved Willow when I was a kid. I loved Willow when I was a kid. And for me to watch the new one and it be like bad, I was like, oh man, dude, like enough that Disney takes it down. Disney doesn't take anything down unless it's racist from their past. Zippity doo dah, zippity a, people singing in their fields and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just disappointing that I think it was real funny because Biggie this week like tagged me and like the Alkalite is canceled by Star Wars. Like Star Wars had put up like we're not gonna renew a season 2, and I instantly went into that comment and I was like, I tagged Star Wars and I tagged Lucasfilms and I tagged Disney and I was like, hire me, bitch. Like I'll go in there, I'll fix things. I'll suck, but at least I'm gonna try to stay true to the source. You know what I mean? Bring in fucking Michael Betancourt. Have him fucking run an episode or 2. I guarantee he'll do a fantastic job, more than what these people did. And you know what's super crazy? I heard on an interview that people were like trying to praise the idea that this was the first time they brought in people who were non-Star Wars fans to make the series. What the fuck? How do you like praise that? Oh, this is the first time that we bring in people who don't know Star Wars, who've never seen. They're actually anti-Star Wars. They never read it. They never saw it.
They're fucking Trekkies. Fucking Trekkies.
What, dude? Fucking what? Goddamn. You know, I brought in this DC guy to make a Marvel movie, man. Because
that's those meetings, bro. Hey, you know what'd be really good for a Star Wars movie? Star Trek fans. Hey, come in here.
Star Trek fans, dude. Yeah, fuck him up. Give that guy a yellow shirt or a red shirt or whatever. Like, dude, what the fuck, man? I was super tripped out of that. I was like, could you imagine praising someone? Praising a group of people based on not being at least somewhat educated or at least somewhat enthralled to be a part of something that they have known for a little bit of time, I guess. You know what I mean? Fuck, it's crazy, bro.
That's like, yeah, Darth Maul had 2 lightsabers. We're gonna fucking put 2 in one hilt.
Yeah, baby. Darth Maul had the double lightsaber. We're gonna make it a cross, bro. We're gonna fucking lightsabers like this, fucking have lightsabers like that. Like,
shit,
no, dude. That's crazy. But the Alkalite was kind of oof, but they're getting canceled. It sucks because we're not gonna. But you know what, Mike and anybody else out there, we are gonna eventually get someone out there that is gonna take this material and do it the right way. You know, if Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau got these characters and put them somewhere else, it would be way. Michael Betancourt's. I would like to take Manny Jacinto, which was the Stranger, and just have a revenge story of the resurrected Daphne King out to kill the Sith that killed her. All orchestrated by Plagueis in the background, trying to clear the field of Sith competition. You know, that's you see what I'm talking about? Like, man, Mike already made a more interesting plot. I mean, I'm only saying, man. I'm only saying. It doesn't take much, and just like that, like the creative thought behind of what Mike just said is literally all it takes for them to do something good. That's all it is.
I was gonna be a smartass. I was like, "Who wears the red shirt this time?"
Yeah, Daphne King's character apparently wore the red shirt.
You're fucking lying, bro. I was about to be like,
yeah, that you see, like that's already an interesting story. You know what? And I was talking about this the other day. I think to take the Stranger's character and put him in the Mandalorian movie would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, 2 different timelines, but if they can incorporate it.
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, that doesn't even work.
Yeah, because one's High Republic, the other one's like afterwards, right?
Yeah, the High Republic, and then this one's like even way after the fucking last movies or whatever, and before the last 3. Yeah, I do feel like there needs to be some kind of resolve for the Inosanto character, the or whatever his name is, Manny Jacinto. I do think there needs to be some kind of resolve. They did establish a pretty cool villain. I mean, even if anything, if they put him like in a video game or they bring him out somewhere, that'd be cool. I think it'd be pretty cool. Maybe even in what's the Ahsoka? Is the Ahsoka show around that time too? No.
Time doesn't mean shit to play against.
Yeah. I mean, that would be interesting too, right? Like if we saw some kind of way that they would initiate that Lord Plagueis kind of knew the back door, like the way Ezra did in the cartoon, that'd be pretty cool too. But yeah, what else, brother? What else?
Well, that's it, bro. We'll wrap up tonight. I know I work this weekend, bro, so unfortunately I won't be able to be on your podcast, bro.
What?
Yeah, they got me. I have what's that shift called? The fuck you shift. There you go.
Oh, the fuck you shift, the midnight shift.
I got the 2 to midnight shift, so
oof.
Booked. But
what do you usually do to prep for like long hours?
Nothing, bro. I TikTok, bro, for like 3 hours at work. I don't give a fuck.
You're like, I cry an hour before work.
Every day and an hour on the road. But what's it called? Again, Chris, I appreciate you joining me today on this short notice, but it's always a lot of fun, bro.
Hey man, always have a good time.
Bro, we should just have a straight podcast about AI, bro. That shit's always fun to talk about with you.
AI is but we got to come in with like some like maybe even us fucking around with AI in the background, like us typing random things. The last time I did it, I had not even joking, I had Kylo Ren dunking a basketball above a sundae or some shit like that. Like it was the weirdest thing. Me and Christella, my best friend, we were playing with one of the messengers has like an AI function, and we were just coming with a bunch of Star Wars things. It was like Yoda as Darth Vader, so him in the little costume with the ears out, like, and then it got to Kylo Ren dunking on Yoda or something like that. So it was like real funny. It was real cool. I liked it. We could do a show like that one day.
What's it called? So where can they catch the rest?
Are you guys all caught up on all like the politics stuff? Did you see that Trump went on Theo Von's show? The comedian? Oh, David. No, do you know who Theo Von is?
I was remember. Yeah, he's a podcaster. So I remember.
Yeah, he's like a podcaster, comedian guy. It's so crazy that Trump's going on a bunch of like comical podcasts. They're really funny. If you guys don't check them out, they're really funny.
It's because that's smart, bro. You gotta,
right? Look, even Michael Betancourt, like that was crazy that he was on a show with Theo Von. Like, and then he did one with that Ross kid, Aiden Ross, right? That was crazy. You can't believe he talked. Yeah, dude, that was like that show was nuts, dude. Theo Von was just, and Trump was so like back taken on the idea of like him talking to someone that like just in front of him what had gone to rehab for cocaine abuse, because he was like, oh, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I've been off it for like 2 years. And he's like, oh, you beat it? He's like, no, I mean, I can still go back on it, but like I don't want to, but like yeah, it's pretty there. And he's like, but alcoholism and Theo Von asked some really great questions though, dude. I was really impressed when he was talking about like the hospital stuff and all this thing, because he does a lot of like work for people who have to deal with like abuse and all that stuff and drugs and things. Yeah, no kidding. It was not involved, but it was such a good show though, man. It was such a good show. And I like Theo Von. he always has to try to get these like cool, funny gotcha moments. So he was always trying to do like little undercuts to try to make Trump laugh. And it's really funny if you haven't seen it. But the Aiden Ross one was fucking funny, man. Dude, the elections this year are like, they're a whole fucking show, dude. It's like watching the UFC, but like with Conor McGregor. Like, you know how he would do, or like the Diaz brothers, like going out there doing a bunch of like, that's what it feels like. It's super crazy right now, man.
The fucking
that was
Diaz
a really
brothers,
great
bro.
interview. I was really
Fucking love
impressed.
the Diaz brothers.
Yeah, even called Trump dude and bro. Yeah, it was the wildest, dude. There's so many. It's so cool, man. It's just so cool. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. I think this election's off the chain, man. It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. But what's up? What's up? Say it again.
Nah, bro. Just to wrap up the evening. Thank you, Ben, for joining us. Michael, appreciate everybody that's in the comment section. Again, guys, we have Adam Collections podcast every Friday, 8 p.m. for the most part. If not, it'll be pre-recorded. But we like the live. But to catch more nerd talk and more, I mean, you get a little political on your show, not too much, right?
No, we're good.
But where do they catch you, Chris?
We are every Sunday night, 8 p.m. The Average Boys podcast. If you guys want to catch us, we are here on Facebook. We usually post up, share the link, and all that stuff. If you guys catch us, you guys can jump in. Just a fun way to end the week with nerd talk and get you guys ready for your work week or your school week or whatever you're going to be doing. Just to catch you up, so you guys have cooler conversations during the week to talk about. Dave, thank you very much for always inviting me on. I love being on the show. Anytime I get the opportunity to talk to any of my homies, like for an hour or two for free and not be held back by, I don't know, anything, is always the best thing. That I love conversations. So thank you. Thank Adam Collections for bringing me on. I really appreciate it, man.
No, I appreciate you, bro. Michael Betancourt, thanks for joining us. Hopefully, we'll catch you in the next one, Michael, or we'll catch you at Chris's. I mean, I'm going to jump in there during work. So
straight, or maybe you can bring Mike on here, dude. You guys can talk stuff. He's really good at PR and business and all that other stuff.
That's true. Michael Betancourt. Well, I know you're recovering. I'll make a date for it, bro, for sure.
Yeah, straight.
100%. Yeah, bro. But besides that, guys, have a wonderful night, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, drink water, and everybody stay safe, guys.
Clean your cake holes.